A lot of music theory is about communication. So taking musical ideas such as sounds or the way that you play guitar or play piano, being able to communicate those ideas to another person so that they can play it the same way or similar. To communicate things, we use notation, and the basis of notation is the staff. A staff is a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces. Now, just for convenience, we call the lowest line 1. The next line would be 2, 3, 4, and 5. And same with the spaces. We call the lowest space 1, the next lowest space 2, 3, and 4. Again, just for organization. Now, the actual notes themselves are different shapes, and we're going to talk about what each of these different shapes mean later, but for right now, what I want to talk about are the actual notes themselves. Now, notes are simply ways of representing sounds or pitches, so something you might play on a piano, saxophone, guitar, any instrument, being able to write them on here in the same way that you would write a word on a paper so that somebody could read that word and know exactly what you're talking about. Now, depending on what clef you're in, the lines and spaces are going to mean different things. Now, a clef is this symbol that you're going to see over here on the left side. This is called the treble clef, and it's also called the G clef because this little loop goes around the G line right there. Now, if you know that this is G, then this will help you in finding the other letters. Now, let's back up a bit, because the musical alphabet consists of 7 letters. It's A through G. When you get to G, you simply start over at A, and you can go up and down those 7 letters and create an infinite number of pitches. And there's even some in between that we'll get to later. Now, if you know that this is the note G, that means you can work your way from there. The next space up is A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then you can go backwards. This is F, and then the lowest line, finally, is E. Now, there is, of course, a much easier way to remember these notes on the treble clef. The lowest line is E, the next line is G, then B, then D, and then F. The way you can remember this is every good boy does fine. Or if that's too elementary for you, you can make up your own. The spaces, the lowest space spells F, doesn't spell, it is F, then A, then C, and then E. And as you can see, the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E. So lines fine, every good boy does fine, space, face. And that's how you can remember the notes that are on the treble clef. In a second, we're going to talk about a different clef, but go ahead and do some practice with this, and then we'll talk about the next clef in the next lesson.